What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new album from Offset called Father of Four. Now, Offset doesn't need much of an introduction because he's a member of Migos along with Quavo and Takeoff, and they already had their time to shine with their solo projects, so I think everyone was ready to see what Offset was going to do. I think Quavo definitely has the worst out of all three. That one was just very draggy, boring, and redundant. Takeoff's was alright because he kept it nice and short and he played to his strengths by bringing fast flows over some nice trap style production. Wasn't really anything amazing, but you know, it was par for the course, so it was okay. But with this one right here, I really think Offset has the best project out of all three, and even within the whole Migos catalog, even with the work that they've done together, I think this would be one of their strongest releases. One of the big differences here has got to be that Offset is bringing more content, and I appreciate that he's finally paying more attention to lyricism. That is something that I've been going on about as long as I've been reviewing music, just how much I appreciate content. So to see someone who's usually in that lane of more poppy, trappy, mainstream rap bringing that content, that is something that I can really appreciate because it shows you that you can still do this style but bring more to it. So as you can tell by the title of this, as well as the cover where he's got all his kids there, although it is kind of sloppy, like it looks like some really bad Photoshop shit. I don't know what went on because I saw they did a photo shoot with all the kids there, but it looks like they weren't based off the cover art, but hey, you know, it is what it is. The album cover art is a whole other topic. But anyway, this all starts off with Father of Four, so it ties in to the title of this project and the cover, and it really lets you know what you're in for with this project, because even though you are getting that same croony sound from Offset that you would expect, there's not really anything that sticks out the production either. He's really just speaking on how maybe he hasn't been the best father to his kids over the years. I certainly appreciate this honesty. It's not easy for someone to open up about all these things, but I thought it was cool how he got kind of vivid just about how, you know, maybe he wasn't the best father while he was out there running the streets, but he was just trying to provide for them, do the things that he could do, get along with his various baby mamas and all of that. So I ain't here to judge the man for what he's done. That's something else that you could do in another video, but as far as what he's talking about here, very open and honest, and I do appreciate that he did that. So he keeps things moving on how did I get here. As the title suggests, this is him rapping, you know, how did I get here? How did I come from the streets and all this awful shit that I've been through to reach this level of success? So you're going to get his come up story throughout this project as well. You're getting J. Cole on this song doing trap J. Cole, so I didn't think it was the best J. Cole feature, but even still it fit together nicely. And you know, he was 2 for 2. I heard these 2 tracks. I really liked what he was doing on this project, even though I'm not huge on this sound. Just the fact that he was taking a step up with the lyricism certainly kept things more engaging. Now, there's even a Cardi B apology track on here called Don't Lose Me. On the hook, he's basically coming from her perspective. You know, she's telling him, quit fucking up and cheating and doing all these things. You don't want to lose me. So again, sonically, this isn't something I really like because it's just a romantic auto-croon joint, but I appreciate him putting himself out there and dealing with all these cheating allegations and what went on. I mean, we could talk about how sincere he really is, and if this shit happened again, if some more allegations came up in a couple of months or whatever, I wouldn't really be surprised. But even still, it seems like he's making an effort here to try to make things right and really be open about who Offset is, including his shortcomings, man, because he really is getting emotional and personal throughout this project, putting it all out there, which isn't something that everybody would do, especially when it comes to these sorts of things. So that was very cool. Another standout to me was Northstar. Here he's getting at the blogs and the media for just always being in his business, in particular when it comes to him and Cardi B and all the things they've gone through. So again, he's going over that. Again, you could question his sincerity, and some people might say, you know, why are you blaming the blogs and media when you're the one out here fucking up? And there's been video and photo evidence of this shit as far as I know. So, you know, you could talk about that. But still, I think this had a bit of a different sound. You're also getting a great Cee-Lo feature. And can we give Cee-Lo some props, please? Cee-Lo is one of these artists who just really steals the show when he shows up on a song, in my opinion. He just has sheer personality. He just is so special with the way that he sings. No one sounds like him. I thought he stole the show on the song and really helped uplift it. So there are really a lot of good things on here that he's bringing. Now, one of my personal favorites has got to be After Dark. As the title suggests, this one has a very eerie feel to it. Production-wise, this was one of my favorite beats. And on this one, he's just rapping about how there's just these harsh realities in the streets where things aren't always going to go good for you. He does touch on how he has lost some loved ones in the streets as well, so there is that coming into play. really this is a project that just surprised me a lot, man. I'm not going to say this is one of my favorites of the year. The score ain't going to be like a 4 or 5 out of 5. You're going to see when you find out. But even still, I appreciate all these things, and thank you, Offset, for at least making the effort, because that is something I've been wanting from artists like this, man. Even on the last song, Came a Long Way, once again, he's getting into his come-up story and speaking on how he's come from the streets to have this level of success, and how now he's just trying to do the right thing and take care of his family. I believe he mentions on this song and on a couple of other tracks how he lost his grandfather and how that had an effect on him. So there are these moments on here where he's speaking on people who aren't in his life anymore and how he sort of wants to honor them. So on this track, he's speaking on how he just wants to amass that generational wealth, do the best that he can to make right and take care of his kids. That was the overall message that I took from this project, and I said it many times that I appreciate it. I think it's cool. We'll find out how sincere this all is. I mean, anyone can just say this shit. Whether you follow up on it, that's what people will really judge you on. But even still, I like that he seems to be making steps in the right direction, and it's very cool, man. I like seeing that these artists are starting to bring some more content. Even with 21 Savage, who used to be one of my least favorite rappers, he even stepped it up on his last album, and I thought that was pretty good. Not saying it's one of my favorites, because the sound, again, is still not my personal favorite taste, but just by bringing this content and stepping up the rapping, like, that's all I'm asking for. Even in those last couple of reviews about Gunna and Lil Pump, that was one of the main points I'm making. You can do simple sounds. You can do simple sounds and have simple content, but just step the rapping up a little bit. It really does go a long way. That's all that I'm asking for here. But you know, in spite of that, like, those are all the positives I have to say about this, which is quite a bit and more than I expected to be said. But at the end of the day, a lot of this still just sounds like that Migos oversaturated sound. Like, if you're like me and you've been suffering from Migos fatigue, I don't think they make a pill or a cream for that, because these motherfuckers aren't going anywhere. They've been around for years, putting out project after project as a group, solo projects. I think Culture 3 they're on now. I think that's supposed to come out soon, so I'm sure that'll be like another 40, 50 tracks of the same old shit. I just am suffering from that fatigue. So as much as I like the content, it's just the sound that really holds this project back a little bit for me, because you are getting the usual thing where Offset goes back and forth between his auto crooning, very basic, and I think at times that sucks emotion out of songs, because when you're touching on these very, very touchy topics, going deep and getting personal, I kind of like hearing a raw voice, because you can put pain and emotion in that. That's kind of why I like Boogie's last project. People were split on that. Not everyone liked his singing, but that's why I did, because I think it felt a bit more emotional than when you just slather this robotic shit on. So, that's nothing new for me. You guys know I was going to speak on that, but he is working some really nice flows throughout here. He's always been known to work those rapid flows. I think as far as technical skills go, he's one of the best in Migos. But one thing I noticed on this project is that sometimes it seems like I can't tell where the choruses and the verses start. It all just kind of bleeds together. There's a collection of songs on here that it starts off, you're like, is this the intro or the bridge? I'm not sure. Okay, I think it's the hook because the beat changed. Maybe, oh no, it's a verse. Okay, now someone else is coming. It's really hard to keep track. And that might seem like a minor complaint, but some of these songs, they just blend together so much that nothing really stuck out to me in that way. It almost felt like it was a very long verse. There were a couple of songs that fell victim to that. There are also some of the very standard, generic, trappish, Migos-flavored beats that you would expect on here that don't really stick out. I'm talking about songs like Lick and Made Man. And I also thought Underrated had this dry-ass plodding beat that really just didn't go anywhere. So that was one of my least favorite tracks. Not to mention, it also has a song where he says that he's trying to get rich like the Jews. I believe that's what he said. More rich than the Jews is what he said. That shit is definitely going to come under fire. I mean, it's 2019. Shit like that ain't going to slide. I know people are going to say it's been a rap for a long time, da-da-da-da-da. Things change. That's where we're at now. So I'm sure, if not already, there will be think pieces and stuff on that. That's going to come out here. But even still, some of these more simple tracks still work, because even I like a fun banger once in a while. I thought Tats on My Face in particular was nasty as hell. I love the bass patterns on that. It's just very heavy, and the way they switch up is engaging, so that was cool. But I gotta say to Offset, you have a line on here, something about how girls can't suck dick with braces. Man, you are wrong, because very clearly you have not heard of a woman that some of you viewers might know. Her name is Dia Knight, or maybe she pronounces it Day and Night. It might be that, because that'd be kind of clever, like day and night. But if you know who she is, you know who she is. I don't gotta go deeper into detail. You know what I'm saying about the braces. But anyway, if not, you might have a little research to do when you're home alone. Maybe you're in the basement now, and I'm not gonna say too much. We're gonna move on from that. But I'm just saying it can be done with braces. It's a thing. And since I did mention braces and we're talking about teeth here, I gotta point out 21 Savage once again. I talked about him and how he's been stepping it up, not just on his last album, even on that Metro Boomin project, he had some great bars. But on here, on the song Legacy, I thought he stole the show. He had a funny line where he says, "Them big ass, cheap ass veneers, you need to see another dentist, dog." Just poking fun at people who are getting these giant Buddy Heald sized grills, you know what I mean? You see them pop up all the time and their mouth is just like way too big. It looks like they got chiclets for teeth up in that motherfucker. It ain't really looking normal, but I get it, man. My teeth aren't all straight. Maybe if I had money I'd do that, but I'd probably tone it back a bit, not to get these big old giant chompers on there. Yomp, 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 like those ball and chain motherfuckers with the big teeth from Super Mario Brothers. I'm not sure I'd want to have that, but I'm gonna wrap up here. I went longer than I expected to. I'm just gonna say that this is gonna be a 3 out of 5 for me. I went back and forth between a 2.5 and a 3, but I ended up leaning with the 3 because I did give Takeoff a 2.5 out of 5. I think this is better than that, so I'm gonna give it the 3. And I praise and appreciate content. I'm not saying I'm gonna listen to this shit all the time because, as I said, even the sound is still a bit generic and redundant and oversaturated to me personally. But if you like the Migos sound a lot and you just wanted it stepped up a bit with better bars, man oh man, you're going to be very happy with this one, I think. But even still, for someone who was expecting not to like this at all because of how Migos out I am, I thought it was pretty dope. Sonically, kind of dry, kind of boring to me. It does have some moments with the production I like and some bangers still that you can work with, some catchy hooks. But as I said, it's still just the same old sound. So now I'm just repeating myself. So we're going to wrap it up. I was surprised by this. I kind of like it. You guys can let me know in the comments section what you think. Make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.